Shalom. Moadim L'Simcha, our greeting for Passover when we're not on Chag as well. We began our worship tonight with the words of Ozi V'Zimrat Yah, words excerpted from Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, that the Israelites proclaimed upon reaching the shores of safety, narrowly escaping Pharaoh's army. God is my strength and my song. God is my deliverance. These are the words and the melody that I needed this Passover. Words of strength, but not of violence. Words that remind us of the might that comes through vulnerability. The word zimra is particularly interesting as it can mean both a song or it can mean might. But the truth is, those two things are one and the same. Songs are our might. It's through song that we find strength. And Shefa Gold's melody that we just sang captures the tone of those words beautifully, that juxtaposition, empowering and mournful at the same time. This text is a reminder that while we might feel alone in this moment, that Adonai has not abandoned us, that our strength comes from God. Whether we believe in a traditional conception of God, or that God is found in the faces of our loved ones, or in the embrace of our communities and our allies. That is why we sit down at the Seder table. It's why we come to synagogue. It's why we continue to live proud Jewish lives. Before we continue with our worship, we find strength in community by taking a moment to greet one another, to say hello and wish one another a Shabbat Shalom. So at this time, I'll invite you to turn to the north, south, east, and west and greet your neighbor. We welcome Shabbat by lighting our candles and sanctifying the day with the words of Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava u'ratzon chinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techilah lemikra'i kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu lacharta, ve'otanu kidasha, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. We take a moment to share as a community in joys and celebrations that we've experienced over the past week or since the last time we were here, so that as one community we can celebrate together. If there is something that you want to share, maybe something big, something small, I invite you to raise your hand and share at this time. Wonderful. So good to see you again. Welcome. Yeah. What? You buried the lead there. You started with the flourless chocolate cake, but the real thing is that yesterday... Well, happy birthday, Robin. Ad 120 until 120. Yeah, you looked, I saw it. I saw it in your eyes, Jeremy. Incredible. Got to meet Tulsi Gabbard. Phenomenal. Awesome. Anything else that anyone is celebrating? Yes, AJ. You finished your final exams. Very nice. Beautiful. Last Shabbat, I was officiating a wedding out in Wilmington, and I got to watch my husband put his feet in the Atlantic Ocean for the very first time. He was very cold. He was not pleased. But very, very special moment, yeah. Any other joys, celebrations? Well, for all of these gifts, we offer gratitude with the words of Shechianu. We welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat hala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat hala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmianu el ha'yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'lithilah. Lecha Dodi, likrat hala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat hala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, ki b'kol ha'bracha, mirosh mikdem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Lecha Dodi, likrat hala, לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So earlier this week, I put together a Passover vibes playlist on Spotify. So there were songs that were not Passover songs, it wasn't Dayenu and the Four Questions, but songs that resonated with the themes of Passover. Everything from When You Believe from Prince of Egypt, to Crazy Frog, I was really proud of that one, to I Want to Break Free by Queen. And I noticed that in this playlist, so many of the songs I was adding were songs that we often weave into the words of Micha Mocha. We do what's called a mashup, right? We take a popular song and we weave in the words of our liturgy. Songs like Wading in the Velvet Sea by Fish, Redemption Song by Bob Marley, How Far I'll Go from the movie Moana. With the exception of Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace, I would say Micha Mocha is probably the prayer that has been set to more melodies than any other. Does that seem accurate, Cantor?
Right.
Yeah. And I have to imagine that it's because the longing for peace and the longing for freedom is universal and eternal. It's a dream that we as human beings have been singing since Miriam danced on the shores of the Red Sea, all the way to a Disney animated film about a young Polynesian princess longing for her own freedom. It's a dream that we will continue singing loudly and proudly until every human being knows what it means to live as their whole authentic selves, peacefully and freely. few weeks ago, someone interesting got on social media. His name is Elmo. And Elmo asked what seemed like an innocent question, but unloaded a lot of information. Elmo asked everyone how they are doing. And Elmo got some pretty real answers. It revealed that as a society, we're maybe not so okay. We need a break, a rest, to turn off and let our bodies, our minds, our hearts be at peace, even if just for a moment. As Jews, we have the gift of Shabbat, a structure built into our week to reconnect with ourselves, with our families, friends, and with God.
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Dekonei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר Moshia Umakein. Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol, Ata Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim, Mechesed, Mechayei Hakol, Berachamim Rabim, So Noflim, Terafei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Kayem Emun Hato, Lishene Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ne'emanata lehachayot hakol. Baruch Ata Adonai, Mechayei Hakol. Ata Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yahalelucha Selah. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Take a few moments for our own personal prayer and reflection.
Shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, uyaseh Shalom aleinu, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom
offer words of comfort and hope for the land of Israel and all its inhabitants. I invite you to join me in our prayer for the state of Israel. Makor HaChaim, source of life. Makor Shel Tikvah, source of hope. We gather together with faith and hope to pray for peace and for the safety of the people of Israel. Protect us in our time of need. Soften our hearts against indifference. Open our eyes to the humanity in all. Guide our thoughts toward compassion. Bring healing to the wounded, strength to the mourner, courage to those facing adversity, wisdom to the leaders, and ensure the safe return of those unjustly held. Fill the world with your light, O God, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. As we pray for God to spread a shelter of peace and wholeness, we also think of those in our lives who are in need of that same peace and wholeness. On our screens, we'll be sharing the names of individuals in our community who are in need of healing. If you're thinking of someone who could use a prayer for shlemut, for wholeness of body, of mind, or of spirit, I invite you to share their name as I look around the congregation. So I tried really hard not to write this sermon. Every time I sat down to write, I tried to write something different. I wanted to write a lovely sermon about the Omer and the various moments in the Jewish calendar when we're called to look inward and engage in self-improvement. But every time I started to write, my words fell flat. It was a sermon for an alternate reality. It was the sermon I wish I could be delivering right now, but it wasn't the sermon I needed to give right now, because it has been a challenging Passover. Not in a spiritually enriching way, but in an exhausting, heartbreaking kind of way. Like every Jewish holiday we have encountered since October 7th, our celebration feels a bit hollow. Our gatherings feel more like sitting Shiva than celebrating Chag. It's nearly impossible to fully embrace the joy and celebration of our liberation while campus protests move beyond condemnation of the Israeli government's military action to a full-blown embrace of anti-Semitic language. Are we really liberated when chants to burn Tel Aviv to the ground greet Jewish students on their way to the library to study for exams? When campus leaders argue that Zionists deserve to die? For some context, I'm an alumna of Barnard College, and my mother worked at Columbia University right across the street. So I've known that campus for a very long time and has been my home for a very long time. My heart ached as I read an email from one campus rabbi encouraging students to go home because he did not feel that he could ensure their safety on campus. Or when I received a message from the director of the Hillel explaining that they would be offering police escorts for Jewish students to walk into and out of the building on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. The same campus, the same Hillel, where I engaged freely and safely in my own exploration of Jewish identity and practice. A Hillel that is in so many ways responsible for the Jew I am today and the rabbi that I am today. But what has been most concerning to me is witnessing a rapid polarization of rhetoric and opinions on both ends of the political spectrum. A binary approach to an incredibly complex situation that leads to a lack of curiosity and removes any opportunity for conversation, flexibility, or understanding. A binary approach, the idea that there is one side that is purely good and another side that is purely evil. An approach that I have seen across the board. It creates a flattening of identities and perspectives. In this worldview, if you are pro-Israel or a Zionist, or for some, even just a Jew, you are a white settler colonialist responsible for genocide. And if you are pro-Palestinian, you are a vile anti-Semite. But it's not that simple. It never has been. And the more that this type of language is disseminated, the more we dehumanize and demonize one another. Right now, we are in the period of the Omer, the 49 days between our liberation from slavery in Egypt to the giving of Torah at the foot of Mount Sinai. Because the Israelites were not ready for revelation immediately following the Exodus. They still had a slave mentality. They struggled to understand fully what their freedom meant. They were mentally still in Mitzrayim, the Hebrew word for Egypt, which literally translates to the narrow place. They needed time and space to grow, to learn, to reflect on who they were under slavery and who they aspired to be as a free people. The Omer today is a period of self-reflection and refinement, a communal spiritual reenactment of our ancestors' journey from slavery in Egypt to revelation at Mount Sinai. In the Kabbalistic tradition, the Omer is the time in which we reflect on the many Mitzrayims, the many narrow places that exist within each of us and hold us back from revelation, from fully actualizing ourselves into the kind of people that we want to be in this world. When we count the Omer, we do something curious. We don't count down like we do on New Year's Eve. We count up, expressing our ancestors and our own excitement as we inch closer to revelation. It is deeply optimistic and anticipatory of the exaltation and the joy of Torah. And yet, the Omer is also understood to be a period of mourning. Some Jews refrain from getting haircuts, shaving, getting married, or attending concerts. And at first glance, it's a peculiar positionality to take on what one would assume should be a joyous and exciting journey. Rabbi Wendy Geffen offers, "The set of 7 weeks enables us to live in the real, complicated world of emotional complexity, fully experiencing both joy and sadness, incarnate in each day of the counting." In other words, Rabbi Geffen is saying, human experience is not binary. We contain multitudes. Multiple experiences can be equally true at the same time. If we can be joyful and mournful in the same breath, we too can hold many truths at the same time. I believe that the Jewish people have a right to live peacefully and freely in our ancestral homeland. And I believe that the Palestinian people have a right to self-determination and to a safe and peaceful life. I believe that every Israeli held hostage in Gaza should be returned home immediately. I believe that innocent Gazans should be able to live free of the tyranny of war. And I believe that Hamas is a terrorist organization that must be stopped. I believe that the right to peacefully protest should be protected. And I believe that when words spoken at those protests incite violence and hatred against any group, that right must be rescinded. I believe that you can support the cause of Palestinian liberation without being an anti-Semite. I believe that to be a Zionist, you not only can, but must be critical of immoral actions by the Israeli government. I believe all these things simultaneously, because truth is far more textured and intricate than we imagine. And it's only when we embrace these nuances, when we move beyond the sarcastic memes and the pithy comments and the one-sided headlines, that we actually can make progress, that we can move towards morality, towards the future that so many of us here in this room and in rooms in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and Rafah and Ramallah and Columbia's campus envision. This is the sheaf, the bundle of wheat that I want to offer as we count the Omer this year. That it is not this or that, but this and that. As we count the Omer, may we reflect on the ways in which we are stuck in our own narrow places. What do we each need to do to pull ourselves out from that narrow place? To open our arms into the expanse and our hearts, and most importantly, our ears. To expand our love and compassion rather than digging ourselves deeper into the crevasse of anger and hatred. And I will be honest, it's not easy. I am angry, and I am sad, and I am lonely. But Judaism never demands that we are perfect, but rather that we do our best to lead with love, understanding, and compassion. It's a practice, a journey, and we're just at the beginning of it. The Omer is 49 days. Shavuot, Revelation, occurs on the 50th day. And it is after that 49th day, before we reach Revelation, that we end the morning rituals, ready to embrace Revelation. And while I pray that we will be in that space 44 days from now, I'm honestly not sure that we will be. I don't know exactly what needs to happen for us to reach that place, but I do know that the way that we as a society are engaging in this conversation is not going to get us there. And while we can't control what others do or say, we can control what we do and what we say and how we choose to behave and interact with others. It is up to us to hear the call of the Omer, to look inward, to hold multiple truths at once, to reach out to others, to be vulnerable and honest, to allow compassion to grow around our grief, to embrace a liberation that ensures the safety, respect, and dignity of every human being. Then, and perhaps only then, will we, all of us, as a Jewish people and as humanity, be ready for God's revelation. So tonight we are going to count the Omer. Week 1 of the Omer focuses on the traits of chesed, of loving kindness. And today, specifically, is dedicated to the endurance of loving kindness, a trait that feels particularly relevant in this moment. What are we doing to nurture our loving kindness to ensure that it does not tire, that our compassion does not fatigue? What do we need to do for ourselves? What do we need from those we love to nurture and cultivate that loving kindness? So I'll invite Cantor Voskin to lead us as we count our Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al svirat ha'omer. Hayom yom arba la'amod. Today is day 4 of the Omer.
And together we say, Amen. Please rise as we continue with Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, begoralenu kechol hamonam, ba'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Our hearts turn to those who are no longer with us and who we miss each and every day, especially during holidays. Their absence feels even more profound. The empty seat at the Seder table, matzo ball soup that doesn't taste quite right because someone else made it, an off-key voice belting Dayenu that's no longer there. But just as Passover reminds us, our responsibility is not simply to ache for their presence, but to honor their legacy by retelling their story, passing their memory on through the generations. In the period of Shloshim, in the first 30 days since their passing, we remember Homayun Betash, Francine Frank, Iris Friedlander, Jay Cabot, Bill Troutman, and Andrea Weiss. marking a yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, we remember Herbert Abrams, Benjamin Amaro, Murray Andelman, Mary Burrell, Shirley Benson, Mark Bernstein, Gabe Borchardt, David Bromlett, Howard Brusky, David Julian Cohen, Nicholas Dobkin, Miriam Pileski, Jody Fertico, Linda Garfinkel, Darlene Gilmartin, Nathan Houdin, Abraham Houdin, Leslie Imholt, Solomon Jackal, Joseph Jacobs, Betty Jaffe, Eleanor Kaufman, Irma M. Klein, Sidney Klein, William Kosowitz, Martin H. Leventhal, Rebecca Levine, Leon Levine, Libby Levinson, Martin Leonard Lipson, Dora Lissman, Rebecca Sue Liss, Lottie Mainzer, Blanche Matten, Michael Martin, Dan McGallery, Angie Millman, Paul Mittler, Ronald Moore, Mel Morgenstein, Julia Solomon Niego, Stanley Oranger, Victor Osborne, Nat Peltzer, John William Bill Quinn, Emma Randall, Harry Luck Bud Rosenbaum Jr., Naomi R. Royal, Larry Saronsky, Seymour Shorts, Fanny Side, Marshall Seidler, Dorothy Shane, Esther Shore, Sarah Schuart, Abraham Siegel, Helen Simon, Ruth Schwartz Schlesinger, Jack Stein, Betty Wiesen Steinberg, Carl Stutz, Daniel Zabo, Irving Wachtel, Rosa Bear Weinstein, Rose O. Weissman, Rebecca Whetstone, Harry Wolfert, Michael Ziff, and Helen Ziff. We rise as one community to provide comfort to all who are mourning, and we join in the words of Mourners Kaddish. Yitz Gadal ve'yitz Gadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirotei v'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam almei almaya. Yitz barach v'yitz shabach v'yitz ba'ar v'yitz romam v'yitz naseh. V'yitz adar v'yitz alev v'yitz alal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen.
Please be seated. And it's my honor to invite up Alan Koronovich. You look like you're surprised. Come on down. It's a doozy this time, so brace yourself.
I haven't had a chance to practice, so I'm sure there's plenty to stumble over here. Well, thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for services, and thank you all for participating over Pesach. I hope everyone had a wonderful Passover. We had two lovely Seders here Tuesday night. It was just fantastic. On this Monday, April 29th at 10:30, we have a morning Yizkor service, the concluding of the festival service season, which will include singing Halal and Yizkor. After Passover, starting on May 5th at 4 p.m., we have a Yom HaShoah Holocaust Remembrance Day community commemoration here at Temple Bethel. The Carolyn Dorfman Dance group will be in residence in Charlotte for Holocaust Education Week awareness. And the Legacy Project of Dance of Hope is about survival, resilience, and memory. It is a tribute to their parents' survival and gives voice to those who were silenced in the Holocaust. Join us on May 5th here at Temple Bethel to remember those who perished, honor the survivors in our Charlotte Jewish community, and experience the powerfully moving performance of the Carol Dorfman Dance. On Wednesday, May 8th at 7, Project Legacy, a Dance of Hope at Charlotte Country Day, $10 a ticket. There's a link on our website. And then on May 13th at 6 p.m. is Yom HaZikaron, Israel National Remembrance Day at Sam Lerner Center at the Cultural Arts at the JCC. Join us as we unite in heart and spirit for our community-wide Yom HaZikaron commemoration. Together we will honor the bravery and sacrifice of Israel's fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism, keep their memories alive in the solemn reflection and gratitude. The special gathering offers a moment to remember the victims of October 7th, connect with our people, and acknowledge the profound sacrifices made. And then on May 15th at 5 p.m., it's Yom HaTzmaut, Israel Independence Day, here at Shalom Park, where we'll reflect and celebrate amidst the echoes of October 7th, reaffirming our resilience and quest for peace. This day honors the courage of those who safeguard the state of Israel, and let's embrace Yom HaTzmaut as a symbol of our hope and strength as a Jewish people. Shabbat Shalom.
Yashpa. Thank you, Alan. We will close as we began with our song of strength and vulnerability, the words of Ozi V'Zimratya. Shabbat Shalom, Moadim L'Simcha.